G'day, thanks for joining us at Next Level Oz as we continue to shake out our brand new caravan on the Sunshine Coast of Queensland. This episode we explore a hidden free camp west of Gympie. What do you reckon? Paula at the gin distillery again. We join other zone owners at a muster. We share some exciting news.
How good is this location?
And then we head to Noosa Northshore to explore the beach campground.
That's the bit where people are more likely to get themselves in a bit of trouble.
This is just absolutely insane.
Nice of them to do that for you. Like to go in, isn't it? G'day. So you can see that we're not in the caravan at the moment. There's a few things sort of happening, and during this shakeout we always knew that we were going to head back home just a couple of times momentarily. As you know, we were at the Habitat Noosa, and we were expecting a little bit of weather to come in. It ended up being absolutely torrid, and I haven't got the footage of it, but we were ankle deep in water. A lot of rain, a lot of that torrential rain that's impacted the east coast of Australia, and there was no avoiding the fact that we had to head down to the Gold Coast. One of our daughters just had some procedures that she had to do, so we wanted to drop in and sort of make sure that she was okay. We stayed down at the Broadwater Tourist Park, and that was good, and you won't see heaps of it. We weren't down there for any particular event or to be tourists. It was a family thing. So if you're going to do a shakeout and try to figure out where you're getting leaks in your caravan or any of those sorts of issues, we got a great shakeout because it bucketed down and no leaks, and that was good. That wasn't even the beginning of it. We had a fair bit of stress when we picked up the van. Our Safety Dave rear vision camera had the image upside down. Now, we'd never used one before, and this is our first van, as you know. So this was sort of all a bit disconcerting, and we couldn't figure out how to fix it up. As it worked out, we fixed it up. That was just a setting in the Safety Dave. We figured that out, but we had to spend some time driving with an upside down image, and that's a bit disconcerting when you're still getting used to towing over 3 tons behind you and trying to work everything out. But anyway, that's a bit of a laugh now. More seriously, we had a dual camera. We couldn't get the 2 cameras to work, so once we got them even the right way up, we had the near sight of the dual camera on the back of the van working, but not the far sight. So we actually thought it was the van, and we went back in for the 100-day service, and the guys at Zone, and it was bucketing rain, and they just spent all day with our van and a couple of others out in the rain because their workshops were full, just trying to work these things through. And they were fantastic. Rich and the team, they were really good, and they just couldn't work it out. They couldn't work it out. So when we went to pick it up, they very kindly sort of said, let's check through the car, and they discovered, and I'll put it up on the screen, they discovered that our auto electricians had only installed one of the cables in the dual camera system. Now, what they were thinking is beyond me. and the guys at Zone were great. So they at least switched those two cables so that we had the longer distance rear view, which was better for towing, and we just had to have a set of eyes when we were reversing in anywhere close, you know, as you should try to do anyway, for the near view until they fixed it up. And that just means that you know, we'll have to use this opportunity when we've got these couple of short stops between the shakeout to get it back to the auto electrician. At least we actually know what the problem is. Anyway, we'll see you back on the road. So we're on our way to the ZoneRv muster at Gunalda this weekend, so we thought we'd drop into a couple of spots. We were going to stop in at Karoi, but the overnight RV spot there, which didn't look too bad, was closed. It was very wet, so obviously not able to get in there. So we filled up with water there. There's a water point. Went on to Pomona. Pomona showgrounds were quite wet, but they were good. They fitted us in, and had a good overnight stop there, and visited the gin distillery down at Pomona. Paula at the gin distillery again. Had dinner down there. That was quite pleasant. Then we've headed up to Kinbombi and to the Kinbombi Falls. Parked up. They've got a nice quiet campground there. Can take sort of probably 10 to a dozen vans. They've got some basic facilities which are very good. You've got to be self-contained, no power, no potable water, but we've got plenty of that on board. And we'll park up overnight, and seeing some good friends of ours who own the property just here, known them for decades, but never been up to their place, so it's actually really quite pleasant, and they're going to drop out and see us at the campground. So right now we're just sort of heading down to the little walking trails at the Kinbombi Falls. They say they're grade 5. The walk down's pretty easy. We suspect that the walk back is why it's a grade 5. This one isn't too bad. There's been a fair bit of water through, so sometimes they're dry, sometimes they're running, and you can see from the water it's actually quite brown at the moment. Anyway, pleasant stop. How do you reckon?
Pretty.
Grade 1 or grade 2?
5.
Grade 5. Yeah, it's actually quite a pretty walk, pretty spot here. The walks down, they're very, very short, trip away from the campground. But if you've got sort of moderate fitness, you'll be fine. And no question, get a bit puffy, you know, on the way back up the longer walks, but quite doable, you know, for anybody with even moderate fitness. You know, you can sort of stop regularly and not too bad. And who knew, you know, just you know, an hour in from Gympie, you know, 2.5 hours up from Brisbane, maybe 3, and you're at Kinbombi Falls. We dropped in at Gameri. Great, lovely little town. I'd certainly recommend to stop in by the bakery. Coffee's good, flat white's good, and the baked goods are excellent, and it's just pleasant all around stop, and everyone's really friendly. So yeah, not too bad a diversion, and really happy that we've actually done it. We'll settle in, we'll have a casual night, we'll have a relatively easy start in the morning, and then we'll head up to the muster tomorrow. G'day, we've got a lot to catch up on, so much to update you since we've spoken to last time. Location, Hangaroo, and I'll put a link down in the description. But it's a great place, well worth considering if you're heading past Gympie, and the guys that own it have done a terrific job, and the company have decided that they now have this handover experience. If you pick up your van from Zone at Coolum, you actually head out to Hangaroo and you do the more formal handover out there, but you then spend another couple of nights there where if there's something you've forgotten, then during the day the crew are on hand there for the other handovers, so they can actually help you out. But yeah, well done Zone. I think that's a great initiative. So I think since we've last updated you, some big huge changes, right? And these are exciting for us, and in some respects quite daunting. We've owned a business for 15 years, and we weren't ready to retire. We're still not ready to retire. And when we decided to buy the van, our plan was to shake it out, and then continue working, continue running the business, then go out for some big chunky opportunities in and around Queensland, because there's plenty to see. Get used to van life, and then do the lap in a couple of years' time. Well, that's all changed. There's been a couple of things that have happened with our business, not bad, and not about us, and not from us, but it just forced us to think about the future, where we wanted to take the business, and in doing that, where we wanted to take our life. And when we looked at all that, we sort of thought, well, you know what, we can do this now. So what we've decided to do is we're going to take a gap year, and gap years aren't just for millennials, of course. So those of us who've been working for 40 years, and there's plenty of you, but like us, not ready to retire. We decided that we'd do a gap year, and so we're going to do the Lap of Australia in 2023. So what does all that mean? Well, first of all, the couple of big trips that we were going to do over the next couple of years, so the bigger trips, we're actually going to do some of those over the next couple of months. So we're going to bring all that forward, and that's going to be a prequel to the gap year. We've got a business, we've got sorted out properly. You know, we've got responsibilities both financially and to staff, and you know, we want all that to be done in a very orderly way. And then we're going to head out on the gap year in 2023. Keep an eye out now, because in a few episodes we'll do a great trip of Western Queensland that's been in the planning. We'll also, of course, do Fraser Island. So, you know, we had been contemplating, did we want to do a YouTube channel or not do a YouTube channel? And as you've already figured out, because there's already a couple of episodes up, we are going to do a YouTube channel. And that wasn't straightforward. You know, we had to think about whether we actually wanted to do that. And in the end, we thought, we'll do it. And we're doing it for a couple of reasons. First of all, you know, we think it can be just a bit of a fun way to record what we're doing on the trip. But I think because it's on YouTube, it means that we maintain the discipline of doing it in a structured and reasonably competent way, hopefully. Maybe you'll tell us different. The second thing is we don't mind sharing the experiences and our considerations. Plenty of you who are like us, you're not necessarily a grey nomad. I mean, I know this all looks pretty grey. You're not necessarily a grey nomad. You don't necessarily have kids. So you enjoy how we're doing that. So we'll do some, we might do a future episode on that consideration, you know, along with the equipment that we're preparing and the car and the van compo and all those sorts of things. So we don't mind sharing. So that's the second consideration. I think the third thing is that we don't need to make any money from this. So for those that do it because they're hoping to top up some income, that's not us. I will do some work along on the road, mainly out of interest, but doing what I do. So we'll have to have the communications and those sorts of things to do that. So we don't need social media or the YouTube channel to make money. And we don't want to be full-time content creators, and we don't want to be influencers. And good on those who do it, and some people do it really well. If on the off chance the YouTube channel makes any money or ad revenue, and we've researched it, we actually think that's actually quite difficult to do, to generate revenue from it. But if it does, aside from the other two reasons, 100% of our ad revenue will go to charity. So this is my opportunity to sort of say to people that, you know, if you like those sorts of values, if you like what you've seen so far, if you like some of the future episodes, please subscribe, like, I get to say that for the first time, subscribe, like, you know, provide feedback, make it constructive, please. And if we build the channel and people like what they see, then we might be able to send a few shekels off to charity. But we'll talk about all of that in detail in future episodes. So stay tuned. Now I think it's time to get back on with the final part of our shakeout. So we'll stop, we're going to head back out. We've got to stop past ZoneRv at Coolum. We're getting some minor modifications done on the van. We won't get the van back till late in the day, so we're then going to do a stopover at Yamundi. And then the following morning we're going to head across to the Noosa Northshore Beach Campground.
good is this location? I mean, the weather's not super duper. We're overcast today. We've had sort of broken sunny cloudy days, a little bit of wind, but with the van just literally separated from the sea by the frontal dunes here on Noosa Northshore. Terrific, you know, and going to sleep with the sound of the waves in the background. Really beautiful part of the world. Is actually quite a good place for a shakeout. Well, it has drinking water at the camp kitchen and a couple of other locations, but no, a little bit of non-potable water around the loos and a few other things like that. The non-powered sites vary, so some of them are back into the Melaleuca, and the sites are quite small, so ideal for for smaller hybrids or camper trailers. The open area, the kangaroo circuit they call it, is actually quite good for vans, quite open. You are a little bit away from it, not so far that you haven't got some basic amenities within a short drive. The campground shop has a couple of basic things. You're just across the Noosa ferry. They do actually warn that there are some dangerous rips. Just raining a little bit on me, so it's just a couple of spits. But yeah, absolutely beautiful, lovely spot. A couple of access ways into the beach. It's got a range of good facilities. It's been renovated in the last few years, you know, and upgraded. So there's a relatively new amenities block. There's a camp kitchen, which I've filmed quickly, but not in detail. There's a couple of people using it, and I know that none of us like having sort of cameras stuck in our faces when we're just trying to get on with our daily routine. But it's yeah, neat, well done. There's an area which has got power, no reticulated water, so you need to have your own onboard water, and you've got to keep your grey water on board. And then a range of other areas. Well, in this particular case, we've used a powered site. It's also sort of a popular four-wheel drive area. Where I'm walking at the moment, no four-wheel drives are allowed. So there's two beach cutting entries onto this beach area. There's a beach cutting one a little bit further behind me, and the vehicles that go there, they can only turn towards Noosa Sound and sort of that part of the Noosa Northshore. And the cutting 3 area, which I'm about to show you, that's the main entry once you get off the ferry to head up towards Tiwa Beach and Rainbow Beach and those sorts of areas. You do need a permit to come onto the beach here, and they do police it. So we'll see how we go. We're actually going to go up and have a look at some of the beachside campsites on Tiwa Beach and see what they look like as a future option run. It's still high tide. They do actually say to drive sort of 2 hours either side of low tide. You can see in this entranceway that the sand is a bit softer getting on and off the beach, so that's the bit where people are more likely to get themselves in a bit of trouble, whereas the beach, particularly at low tide, is reasonably firm here. So we'll see how all this goes.
Hey, thanks for watching Next Level Oz.
Thanks, team. Give us a friendly wave.
Stay tuned as we head to Western Queensland, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember, 100% of YouTube ad revenue for our channel goes to charity.
Here we go, ladies and gents. We are lap number 3.
See you next time.